We are venturing into a land of extremes. Where a territorial vastness, second only to Russia's, stands in stark contrast to one of the lowest population densities on Earth. The climate itself feels like a trial of the soul, a world where the mercury swings violently across a 200-degree spectrum, from bone-crushing chills of minus 81 degrees Fahrenheit to the sweltering, humid embrace of plus 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This colossus is cradled by the fury of three oceans, the Atlantic to the east, the Pacific to the west, and the Arctic to the north, a powerful trinity of water that isolates and guards the secrets of the interior. Can you envision a coastline that winds for over 202,000 kilometers? It is the longest shoreline on Earth, a jagged silhouette of fjords and inlets that looks more like a heartbeat than a map. The heartlands are dominated by agricultural plains, so unimaginably vast that you might actually believe the local lore, that you can stand and watch your neighbor's dog run away for 3 straight days without ever losing sight of it. These endless prairies are the world's lifeblood, a testament to the bounty of a land that feeds billions. But it is the north that truly beckons the seeker. As the plains give way to boreal forests and finally dissolve into the Arctic tundra, we reach a place where the stars refuse to set and the midnight sun turns the world into a fever dream. This is where the sky ignites with the aurora borealis, a celestial symphony of greens and purples that makes you realize just how fragile our civilization truly is. Why are we here? To see what the news conceals, to find the fierce pulse of life within the frost. We are about to plunge into a world that exists between the cracks of the map, a place where every iceberg and every polar bear bears witness to a story currently being erased. If you are ready for your worldview to be turned upside down, come with me. The end of the world is only the beginning. While the northern sky ignites in a fever dream of light, the land beneath it holds a deeper, more primal power, written in the language of rising tides and the silent tracks of ancient predators. To truly understand this nation is to look beyond the spectacle of the sky and confront the terrifying, beautiful resilience of life itself. We are moving into a realm where water is not just a resource, but a force of nature that redraws the maps twice a day, and where history is carved into the very skeleton of the planet. Consider the Atlantic coast, specifically the haunting stretch between Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, known as the Bay of Fundy. This is a place that functions as a rhythmic pulse for the entire Earth. Here, the highest tides on the planet occur, creating a natural spectacle that feels less like geography and more like a cosmic heartbeat. Imagine standing on the ocean floor, looking up at cliffs carved by millennia of erosion, only to realize that within hours, 16 meters of icy Atlantic water will surge over the spot where you stand. This isn't just a change in scenery, it is a radical transformation of the landscape that occurs twice every single day. A constant reminder of our infinitesimal presence in the face of planetary forces. It is a place of profound paradox, where the solid Earth must surrender to the liquid horizon with every breath of the moon. But Canada's story with water is not limited to its jagged coastlines. As we move into the interior, we encounter a freshwater paradise that has no equal on this planet. This nation hosts about 60% of the world's lakes, ranging from mirrors of water hidden deep within coniferous forests to expanses so vast they feel like inland seas. Yet, even in this abundance, there are secrets that defy logic. In the wild heart of Alberta, nestled among the majestic Canadian Rockies, lies Abraham Lake. Though born of human intervention through the Bighorn Dam, nature has claimed this place and turned it into an alien gallery. When the temperatures plummet and the wind descending from the mountains creates ripples on the transparent surface, a strange alchemy happens beneath the ice. Methane gas, released by decomposing organic matter at the bottom, rises toward the surface, only to be trapped layer by the freezing cold. The result is a forest of frozen white bubbles, suspended disks of gas caught in a sea of solid glass. Walking on this lake in winter is like walking on the stars. It is a landscape that feels pulled from an alien planet, a testament to the strange and wonderful ways our world creates beauty out of the mundane. From the frozen bubbles of Alberta, our journey of discovery takes us to the rawest edges of the continent, to the geological laboratories where the Earth's very intestines have been pushed to the surface. In Growmore National Park, we find an open-air archive of the planet's birth. This is where the epic collision of continents occurred 485 million years ago, a living testimony to the plate tectonic theory. Here, eroded mountains dive into deep fjords carved by ancient glaciers, and the silence is interrupted only by the cry of an eagle in flight. Navigating the emerald waters of Western Brook Pond, surrounded by rock walls 600 meters high, you don't just see history, you feel the weight of geological time. In the small town of Churchill, Manitoba, the concept of a border disappears. Here, polar bears roam freely through the streets, making it one of the few places on Earth where humans and these apex predators share the same space. During the autumn, Churchill becomes a privileged destination, a front row seat to the survival of a species that embodies the resilience of the Arctic. These animals are not just residents, they are the silent witnesses to a changing world, moving with a quiet power through a territory that was theirs long before we drew lines on a map. As we move further west into the heart of the Rocky Mountains, we find Jasper National Park, a wild universe where time itself seems to flow to the rhythm of the stars. Within this sanctuary, the grizzly bear still reigns supreme, a symbol of a wilderness that resists the passage of time. This is a place of primordial connections, where the historic Icefields Parkway winds through valleys sculpted by ancient ice, offering views that change at every turn. At dawn, when the fog settles on the waters of Pyramid Lake, you realize that Canada is not just a country. It is a guardian of the planet's memory. It is a place where the grizzly, the wolf, and the caribou roam free, reminding us of the world we used to belong to, before we traded the silence of the woods for the chaos of the city. In this frozen history, we find a profound lesson in endurance. Whether it is the highest tides at the Bay of Fundy or the ancient fossils of the Burgess Shale in Yoho National Park, Canada speaks of a resilience that is both ancient and urgent. It is a land of giants, where nature reigns supreme over immense and sparsely populated territories, and where every fjord, every lake, and every predator tells us a world that is still, against all odds, untouched. And as we look closer at these hidden wonders, we begin to see that the true soul of this nation is found in the places where the news never goes, in the quiet roar of a waterfall and the steady gaze of a bear. Yet, even in the absolute solitude of the northern cathedrals, one begins to realize that the spirit of this land is not solely contained in its ice, but also in the vibrant, breathing mosaic of the souls who have learned to call this paradox home. We often view the wild and the urban as opposing forces, but in this territory, they are two sides of the same ancient coin, a dual reality where modern skyscrapers act as mirrors for a heritage that refuses to be forgotten. To step into the heart of the Canadian identity is to move beyond the cold statistics of geography and enter a cultural mosaic of extraordinary complexity. This is a nation defined by its bilingual symphony, a place where English and French do not merely coexist, but intertwine like the deep roots of a 1,000-year-old cedar. In the streets of Toronto, the air is thick with the sounds of over 140 different languages, creating a cosmopolitan urban sanctuary that feels less like a single city and more like a microcosm of our entire planet. Here, the reflection of the glass towers and the waters of Lake Ontario serves as a silent witness to a modern miracle, a society built not on uniformity, but on the beautiful, jagged edges of diversity. But to find the true soul of this land, one must walk through the living paintings of the East. In Quebec City, time itself seems to slow down, caught within the 17th century stone walls that remain unique in all of North America. As you wander the narrow cobblestone alleys of Petit Champlain, you aren't just a tourist, you are a witness to 4 centuries of survival. The looming silhouette of the Frontenac Castle dominates the horizon, a monument to a resilience that has weathered wars, colonial shifts, and the relentless bite of northern winters. There is a profound sense of joie de vivre here that defies the harshness of the environment, a warmth found in the melodious French conversations echoing off Victorian facades and the soft glow of street lamps against a fresh mantle of snow. This same cultural depth pulses through Montreal, where the bells of the majestic Notre Dame Basilica resonate with a gravity that leaves one breathless. It is a city of layers, from the high-tech gleam of the biosphere on Sainte Helene Island to the quiet reflection required to climb the 283 steps of St. Joseph's Oratory. These monuments are more than just stone and glass. They are time capsules that tell the story of a nation forged between 2 cultures, thriving in a bilingual harmony that the rest of the world often struggles to grasp. We must ask ourselves, what gave these people the strength to build such sanctuaries in the first place? The answer lies in an ancestral bond with the land that predates every city wall. Nature is not just a backdrop here. It is the very fabric of the national identity. Consider the maple leaf, a symbol so recognizable it stands proudly on the national flag, representing a sweet tradition passed down through generations in the forests of Quebec. This isn't just about industry or agriculture. It is about a celebration of the woods, an understanding that 75% of the world's maple syrup production is actually a gift from a land that nourishes those who respect its cycles. This reverence for the earth is perhaps most visible in the West, in the urban oasis of Vancouver. Here, glass skyscrapers reach for the sky, but they are constantly humbled by the proximity of the ocean and the mountains. In Stanley Park, a 400-hectare temperate rainforest thrives within the urban center, serving as a sanctuary where the city's pulse slows to the pace of ancient sequoias. It is here, among the hidden lakes and the fishing herons, that you encounter the totems of the First Nations. These towers of wood at Brockton Point are not merely art. They are the voices of the indigenous peoples who have lived in harmony with this untouched wilderness for millennia. They remind us that before there was a second largest nation, there was a sacred territory where every tree and every stone was considered a relative. As we look upon the elegant neo-Gothic spires of the Parliament in Ottawa, we see the formal face of a young democracy. But the true story is found on the frozen Rideau Canal. In winter, this UNESCO heritage site becomes a stage for the everyday resilience of the people as they skate between historic bridges in a triumph of spirit over the cold. The intricate tapestry of human resilience we find in the cities is merely a reflection of the profound ancient power that waits at the very edge of our maps, where the land finally surrenders its secrets to the silence of the infinite. As we leave the rhythmic skating of the Rideau Canal and the stone sentinels of Quebec behind, we must travel to the places where Canada stops being a nation and begins to feel like a portal to another world, the ultimate frontier where the Pacific meets the untamed. To stand at the edge of Tofino, clinging to the westernmost tip of Vancouver Island, is to stand at the precipice of magic. This is where the temperate rainforest, filled with thousand-year-old cedars, meets the quiet courage of a surfer challenging the perfect waves of the Pacific. In the winter, the coast is battered by spectacular storms that remind us of the primordial paradox of our existence, that we are most alive when we are most vulnerable to the raw power of the sea. Walking along Chesterman Beach through a mystical veil of morning fog, the world feels untouched, a hypnotic contrast of deep ocean blues and the intense prehistoric greens of the forest. Moving back into the interior, we find the heights of Jasper National Park, a wild universe where time is not measured by clocks, but by the slow movement of ancient glaciers. There are nights in Jasper so dark that the Milky Way appears like a tangible silver bridge, close enough to touch, reminding us of our infinitesimal place in the cosmic order. From the depths of Lake Meline to the vast Columbia icefield, this is a sanctuary of biodiversity where the grizzly bear and the wolf roam exactly as they did centuries ago. In the east, the rugged beauty of Nova Scotia tells a different story of resilience, one of shipwrecks, lighthouse keepers, and the jelly bean houses of St. John's that defy the Atlantic fog with their colorful optimism. From the red, iron-rich cliffs of Prince Edward Island to the deafening roar of Shannon Falls plunging over black granite, we see a nation that whispers ancient secrets to those who know how to stop and listen. The journey through the Great North is a profound lesson in the resilience of the spirit and the eternity of the earth. Canada teaches us that even in a world of extreme paradoxes, life finds a way to flourish with quiet majesty. By choosing to see the unseen stories, we bridge the gap between prejudice and truth. In this journey across the frozen frontiers, which moved you more, the raw, terrifying power of nature, or the quiet, enduring strength of the human spirit? If this cinematic exploration expanded your worldview, please subscribe to support our mission in bringing more deep, humanistic stories to light.